What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Lennox Lewis. Big up England, big up. Lennox Lewis predicts the next undisputed champion Fury Usyk fight as confirmed. Of course, we all know the fight has been signed, sealed, delivered, but the former undisputed heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis had this to say on Joe's podcast earlier. He says, Usyk cannot be taken lightly. He's the undisputed champion at cruiserweight, and he hasn't lost. And when he trains for a fight and when he boxes for a fight, there is a mental and physical involved. So it's going to be a great fight. He's not going in there to try and lose. He's going in there and try to win. So whatever he can do to win, he will pull all the stops. I think it'll be a great fight. But he's up against a different man because he's not up against a 6'7" guy. He's up against a 6'9" guy that outboxes, that boxes orthodox and southpaw and moves very well around the ring. I always say a good big guy always beats a good small guy. So there you have it. Those are the words of Lennox Lewis, and let me counterpunch. I appreciate Lennox for, first of all, giving props to Usyk because what he had to say about Usyk was accurate. Oleksandr Usyk is a guy that he trains for the proposed task, okay? And it is a mental training and it's a physical training, okay? And he uses both. And I think that Usyk is going to shock a lot of people, okay? Just like he did AJ. I had Usyk beating AJ if AJ tried to outbox Usyk, and that's what AJ tried to do foolishly. He outboxed Usyk, and I told people, and people are like, and I'm like, what are you so surprised? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not right all the time, but a lot of times I do get the decision or I get it right, okay? And I think if anything, anything at all, I think Oleksandr Usyk will be prepared for somebody like Tyson Fury, okay? And I think Tyson Fury, his kryptonite is smaller fighters. And since that's his kryptonite, I think that will be his enigma, okay? Oleksandr Usyk is one of those guys that's going to show him many angles, and then it's going to put his legs to the test because he's going to have to use them. So the narrative or the theory, so to speak, of Tyson Fury's legs being shot to shit, we're going to find out. Because if he can't move, he's going to have to do things to stop Usyk from moving. And depending on the ref, if he lets him get away with it, he's going to do certain things like grab him, hit him, hold him, club him. You know what I mean? He has to rough up Usyk because if he can't keep up with Usyk, he's going to have to do exactly that. I think with Tyson Fury, he's so accustomed to fighting guys smaller because he's the bigger guy. You know what I mean? But the smaller guys that are under 6'4", 6'5", I think he's going to have problems with because he's not easily able to grab them like he is a taller, rangier guy like Joshua, which is a big guy and a big target to grab hold of, or Wilder, which is a tall, skinny target to hold of. You know what I mean? That's how he does it. Grabs them and puts his weight on them. Well, somebody shorter won't be there like that because they don't have the size and they don't have that body to grab onto. They're going to be bat, and skip and dip. You know what I mean? And Tyson Fury is going to want to hold because when he starts getting hit by shots that he's not going to see, because Usyk has a funny way of coming up with a jab, you know, and those jabs are going to give Tyson Fury fits. Okay, and he's going to spend most of that fight basically trying to track Usyk down, and he's going to have to start fighting Usyk at that point because he's going to get to a point like, okay, it's like Gamboa and Crawford. Gamboa had that footwork because he was dashing in and out. That's a problem for anybody. Think of this, Manny Pacquiao versus Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya could not find Manny because Manny was boom, 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 boom. And he was throwing and moving in these different angles and different positions that Oscar De La Hoya couldn't. At one point, just using that fight as a reference, De La Hoya grabbed him and clubbed him because he was tired of him moving. And I think the same thing is going to happen with Tyson Fury. And maybe, just maybe, about Lennox Lewis and his prediction. Sure, he gives Usyk the praise and he knows what Usyk has done and he knows he's undefeated as well. And he doesn't have any draws, okay? And they sure the hell don't have any losses. But I think just maybe Lennox Lewis may be picking Tyson Fury, not because he's biased because he's a Brit. Maybe because he's biased because he's that bigger guy, okay? He's the bigger guy. And I think because he's the bigger guy, he will favor the bigger guy. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. But, a good big guy, it depends on how good that big guy really is versus how good that smaller good guy really is. See, that's a whole different can of worms when you're talking about pedigree, speed, angles, footwork. Okay, we're not talking about a Dillian White or a Derek Chisora or a Francis Ngannou or a Otto Wallin even. And Otto Wallin was a guy that was a lot shorter than Tyson Fury. However, the way Otto Wallin fought him, he gave him a lot of problems. Okay, and I don't think that fight will be like people think it's going to be. If you look at fights like Otto Wallin, and that's when Tyson Fury was still with Ben Davison. And that's when he's supposed to have the boxing and moving style. So I don't buy that shit either. Unless the theory is true about Tyson Fury, that his legs are not what they used to be. He can dash in and dash out with someone that's slower, that's unable to do those movements. But try that shit with Usyk, and you'll see what you get. You'll get somebody that's going to dash and counter back at you, so when you dash in thinking that person either is going to, flinch or, or do something or still be there for you to attack, you're going to have another thing coming. So here is Lennox Lewis's recent prediction of Tyson Fury taking on Oleksandr Usyk. Confirmed, signed, sealed, delivered. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.